How do we become effective leaders as Christians, as women of God, as P31 Women of God? Well, that's what I'm going to talk to you about today, effective leadership. So if you think about it, leadership is important whether you're in the job market, the corporate landscape, ministry, you have your own business, you have to be an effective leader. And when I think about leadership, I think about three key components. The first one being influence, second being integrity, and the third being discipline. And in fact, we're going to talk about all three of these in a three-part series. So you'll have to listen to today's and then stay tuned for the others. So let's dive right in. I'm so excited to be talking to you about this. Really quick, my name is LaTanya Lynch. I started this channel to encourage other women of God who in the workplace, or maybe you've got your own business, etc. Maybe you're in a leadership position currently, to be able to thrive as a woman of God. And so I hope that this can be an encouragement to you. All right, let's get back into leadership and influence. If you think about the definition of influence, it is the ability to affect the outcome, the thoughts, or the behaviors of others to produce an outcome that you're looking for. And John C. Maxwell is a very famous, well-known speaker and influence or leadership guru, I should say. He has a quote, and it goes, "A true measure of leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less." When I heard this quote a few years ago, it really resounded with me because it's so true. If you think about it, if you're running a business and you're trying to increase your revenue, you need to change the behaviors of those people who are out in the selling field to drive more revenue, right? If you're in a church and you're trying to build your ministry and you got people under you, you need to be able to impact or influence those other people around you to help you reach those goals. And so it's just important as leaders that we have the ability to be effective at influence. So let's jump right in and really talk about what that means. As women, here's the kicker. We are innately good at this. We are great at influencing because it's how the Lord designed us. It is part of our makeup. And if you think about it, when we were little girls and we saw a little ladybug on the sidewalk in the hot sun, what did we do? We would walk to the little ladybug, pick it up, put it in our little hands, and put it in the cool shade so it could grow and continue to thrive. When we were walking home from school, we saw that lost kitten, and people, that was me. I was the one. I actually did this, saw the lost kitten, put it in my shirt, took it home, snuck it up to my room, tried to get milk out the refrigerator to feed the little baby kitten. It was probably like 6 weeks old. And my hope and prayer was that the kitten would thrive and that the kitten would grow because I was nurturing it. Let's take it one deeper. Little baby dolls, little fake plastic baby dolls. When we were little girls, most of us had baby dolls. And what did we do? We would sing to the little baby doll. We would feed it. We would cradle it and rock it to sleep. And in our minds, under our imaginations, that little baby was responding and that little baby was growing and thriving. So it is just how the Lord made us. It's in us. So we can absolutely leverage this trait to become better influencers and ultimately better leaders. So how can you do this, P31 women? How can you as a leader shape and develop and build others so that they can produce a certain outcome? Well, there's three ways that you can do that. And the first way is that it starts with you. Influence always begins with self-leadership. People follow what they see, not what they're told. So if you're in the workplace or you're in a position of leadership already, be very, very mindful of what you're displaying and what you're putting out there. If you've got things that you need to work on to make sure that you're setting that bar high, then make sure you're working on yourself, that you're pouring into yourself, you're developing yourself. One of the things you can do, and this is actually done in corporate America, a lot of people maybe aren't even aware of this. When there is someone in corporate America and it has been established that maybe they're going to be the next director as part of an organization, we actually put that person on a development plan. So what we do is we'll look at their performance review history, we will get feedback, we'll have them sometimes take an assessment, and we'll look at what they're good at, what areas that they still need to be developed in, and we'll put together an action plan, things that they can do to make sure that they're making improvements. Well, you can absolutely do this for yourself. I encourage it of you. You are probably self-aware enough to be able to jot down areas that you need to improve in and take actions to make those improvements. Ask the Lord to help you and to pour into you daily. How do you do that? You got to read your word. I am always going to take it back to the word, and that's absolutely critical, again, to being an effective influencer and, again, ultimately an effective leader. The next one is being intentional about your ability to influence others, right? About the actions that you take to influence others. You got to share the love. As the Lord pours into you, you need to pour into others. Your focus should always be in investing in people, not tasks. When you build the people, they build the business, they build the organization. They're the ones who are accomplishing those goals, and they carry your influence on. So it's very important that you're intentional in doing this. Some people are very natural at encouraging others. Some people aren't. And if you're one of those who aren't, you know what? Put some Post-it notes up to remind yourself to do it. Put a reminder on your calendar. You've got to make sure that you're investing in the people around you, so again, they can carry your influence on. And this third one, be bold, be faithful, and be courageous in your convictions. This one's not always easy, especially for believers, and particularly if we're in the workplace or in a secular environment. You are required to always speak the truth and always hold on to your convictions, even when it's uncomfortable. You need to be obedient. You need to make sure your behaviors fall under the word of God. So what does that mean? It means that there are going to be some times when you're in a meeting, you may be asked to do something that's not ethical, and you need to say, no, I am not going to do that because it does not align with my personal ethical values. And you can absolutely say that in the workplace. You can absolutely say that honestly anywhere because you need to, because you are a believer of Christ. You may be in a situation where you need to give uncomfortable feedback to somebody, and you should do that because that is how you're going to have the ability to help someone grow and make improvements in their performance. Do your job. Be obedient, do everything as unto the Lord, but make sure that, again, you're being faithful to your convictions and that you're being courageous. I hope that this was a blessing to you, and I hope that this gave you a few tools that you can use to improve your ability to influence others. Again, this is one part of a 3-part series. So if you want the rest of it, make sure that you tune in to the next couple of sessions. Until then, I hope that you are blessed in your week. And please remember to hit the like and subscribe button so you can continue to get this content. Also, share this with other people as well. If you know other women of God out there who you feel like could be blessed by having that encouragement weekly, just to get through the day, because it's hard out here in these streets, people, and sometimes you need a little bit of encouragement to to get you to that next day. Definitely forward this along. Until then, until we meet again, be blessed.